Hi, fellow traders. What's happening? Hope you guys had a great week. I know this was a short week, um, and I don't know if that kind of caused me some issues. But I had all kind of issues this week, mental issues that we're gonna kind of talk about because I'm gonna really I can sum up the week with just a couple of trades. I know this is the first time you heard from me this week. Um, I was all ready to go Tuesday morning, and about 15 minutes before the market opened, I started to feel sick. And I think I mentioned it a couple of times in the room. I started really feeling bad, and I kind of tried to stick it out for the first 30 minutes or so, but then I just had to run. I just couldn't deal with it anymore. And for Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I mean, all I could do was sleep. After I was in here in the morning, and then after lunch, I just couldn't take it. And I slept most of the day. I slept the evening. It was so bad. I didn't do any reflections, and that's extremely rare for me. I'm always adamant about doing my trade reflections because anytime something starts to creep in, I can kind of pick it up really quick and fix it. But it was it was just bad. Even my wife kind of was talking about it yesterday. It's like, I don't know what's wrong with you. Something's wrong. I might have to take you to the doctor because you're just sleeping so much. I come in your room and I'm asleep on the futon. I've got my laptop kind of looking. My laptop's looking at me, and I'm stretched out. And she works from home most of the time as well, and it was just crazy. But today I felt a little bit better. I wasn't as tired, even though I did fall asleep today after lunch in the middle of a trade at that. But nowhere near as bad as it has been. But I did kind of come up with some things that we're going to talk about today. And yeah, it's related to this question. Are you scared to lose money in the market? If you answer yes, then you need to stop trading right now. Stop trading with your money. You can trade in the simulator all you want. But if you're scared to lose money, stop trading your money in the market right now. Because until you get to the point where you're not afraid to lose money and you accept the fact that this is a profession that you're going to have losses at certain points, there's no need for you to start trading because it's going to end very badly for you. And I realized that the last couple of weeks, it's all been about me not losing money. And I don't know if this was a product of what happened on that third week in January, where I ended the week red. I had like $3,000 weeks, and then I had this red week. And I did recover that next week. But then the first week of February was kind of a struggle. And I think that kind of triggered something. And so I started just not allowing trades to work, just taking them off. If it didn't work immediately and it just kind of hung around, I just took it off. And, and eventually the trade would work. It would do exactly what I wanted it to do. And it did it, and it happened over and over and over and over and over again. And I wouldn't get back in. I would just let it go. And it was really becoming, an issue. And I probably would have identified it early this week if I had just done my reflections. But I started looking at it today and looking at the trades. They all look the same to me. And, we're going to talk about that. But it's funny. Somebody that's been as successful as I've been, and I've been doing this for all these years, that all of a sudden I don't want to lose. And it may not be the money part. It's really not the money part, because I'm making money on swing trades, and I've got my long-term account going. But it's the fact that I'm in the chat room, I'm leading this, I'm teaching you, and there's pressure on me to perform. And every now and then that pressure starts to creep in, and I'm like, I don't want to lose. But that's part of it, and that's part of the learning process. And honestly, I'd rather you see me lose than win, because you learn more from me from the challenges. But it just kind of crept in, and it snuck in the back door while I wasn't looking. And, you'll see what happens. And you saw, if you went in the room the last 2 weeks, you see exactly what happens when you start trying to trade scared. And you know the saying, scared money don't make money. So that's what I had to work through. But one thing, we had our first session on how to trade and grow a small account. The video, for some reason, the audio did not take, and I've got to re-record it. So I want to redo it this weekend, either tomorrow or either Sunday after our session. But one of the things that we are going to address is how to not be scared. How to take away that fear of trading. Because if you have a fear of losing, you're not going to grow. And one of the problems that smaller account traders have is that you try to make your stop so tight that you're not going to lose anything, but you're going to make a lot but not lose a whole lot. You're not going to make a lot. You're going to make a lot but not lose a whole lot. And that right there is not is not the right mindset you need to have. Okay. And we're going to talk about that. This is one of the key elements in this. There's several keys to growing your account. And a small account is, to me, my definition, anything under 25K. Okay, anything under 25K is a small account. Or anything under 30K is a small account. Because if you're trading in let's say a traditional U.S. broker, if you have $30,000, you only have a $5,000 cushion. The last thing you need to be doing, especially when you first start trading, is using all of your buying power. You need to stick to managing your account with that $5,000 cushion, because you're gonna make mistakes. Things are not gonna work for you all the time, and you don't want to get in there and in a week lose that cushion that you have, and then you have to try and put more money in. So that's something that you want to that we're going to talk about going forward. So I'm not going to get too deep into that, but that's going to be key. All right, so this week the market didn't really do much. I was excited on Tuesday when we got in and the market had gapped up, because here is the channel that it kind of put in last week. And you can see we finished Friday relatively strong. We opened Tuesday, gapped up. And I'm like, well, if anything, it may pull back here, and then we get a bounce, and it starts to make the run up. So I'm thinking, hey, we're good. And swing trading was good. I got into swing trade late because I was sick. I didn't get to do it the right way, but I did get in relatively decent entry. But the market pulled back in. And you can see we pulled back, and today we opened with a little bit of gap up, but then sold off. I don't honestly, for swing trading and even for day trading, I want the market to sell off down to the 50 at least, right down here. So we have some value to trade in the market. Right now we're just it's just a lot of choppiness. Every now and then we do get nice moves. You got to be in the right place at the right time. Like Facebook today, right place, right time. Yesterday, FSLY, I believe, and we're going to talk about that in a minute. But you just have to be in the right place. And see, Facebook wasn't even on my watch today. It was just something that I happened to catch. And, it was just one of those things. But the other part is me not executing my trades. That's my issue. I'm not executing because I'm scared to take a loss. That's the whole issue I've been dealing with for the last couple of weeks. So, like I said, I didn't do my reflections. But if you were in chat yesterday, you did see me take these trades live. These should match up. I just uploaded these to TraderView so that we could take a look at the trades because they all look the same. All right, they all look the same. I get in, opening range breakdown. This doesn't give you pre-market and post-market. So this was an opening 5-minute candle. I get in on the break and it starts to pull up on me. So I just kill it. Okay. But it came back. It came back. And I could have still been in this. I didn't have to kill this. It came right back. It never did confirm losing the 5-minute opening range low. And I could have gotten back in this. But I didn't. I convinced myself not to take it. And this thing bled all the way down to the 200 on the daily chart, which is the plan that I had pre-market. Is that this could sell off. This is the window down to the daily 200. It worked perfect. I bailed out because I was scared to lose. I didn't take this trade because I didn't want to lose. All right. I know that. That's why I convinced myself not to take it. Perfect example of what happens when you become scared to lose. Whether it's lose money, whether it's lose a trade, because in this case, money is not it doesn't really matter right here, but it's the fact that I was scared to lose. SPCE. This is the, wait a minute. Yeah. These are both the same. I don't know why. So SPCE. This was the other trade I took yesterday. This is the one I did make a couple bucks on. Again, I didn't really get back in this. I didn't re-engage. But I did kind of let this trade work. Caught some profit. It bounced back up, took me out at break even. And I just wasn't ready to catch this like I was supposed to. But this, if you look at, if I had all of the trades that I took this week, most of the trades look just like this. So now let's look at the ones today. Hold on 1 second. All right, plug. This was the first one. Opening range breakout. I get it. It pushes up. It starts to come back. This isn't my stop, but I just take it off. It's like, okay, I'm, if it goes down, I want to lose it. I'll get back in it. So I got back in it, and it pulled back again. Did not hit my stop, but I took it off anyway. So I took about, between these two, I took probably about $500 in losses that I shouldn't have had to take. Okay, because I didn't want to. I was already red, but it didn't make sense. Why would I keep taking this off? And then I get in the third time. Okay, third time's the charm. This is the third entry. We start to work. This candle opens, starts to sell. Guess what I do? I take it off because I don't want to go red. I don't want to lose any more money. I don't want to have 3 losers in a row. That is a losing proposition. That's a losing mindset. And guys, this can creep in. Once you get through it, any of these things that we work through as beginning traders can creep back in. Even seasoned professional traders, if they hit a little losing streak, it's really easy for fear to creep in, and it steals their confidence. It happens. Some traders never come out of it because they never realize it. They never get help. They're too proud, and they end up losing, their job. But for us, it's not losing our job. We lose our livelihood. So we have to be able to identify all of these issues. And this was a major one that crept in that I really wasn't paying attention to until today. All right, so this was plug. DraftKings, same freaking issue. I get in. It did pull back just a little bit, but it kind of held, and we got up. We pushed up a little bit. We started to sell, and what do? I bail out. Here's the thing: I'm not looking at my P&L. I don't even have it up, so it's not the P&L I'm looking at. It's the price action. And we all know the price action is really choppy. Look at this price action here. It makes it up to almost $62, but look how choppy it is. All right, so if I had just been patient and allowed this trade to work and understand, hey, we're in a distribution market. It's going to be choppy. I said, how many times did I say this morning, the value is not to the long side. But these were setting up long, so I took it knowing that the move was going to be limited. But in my mind, I was just trying to limit my losses, and you can't do that. All right, so I took a little break, kind of got my head screwed on straight, and realized, all right, so we get to, that was DraftKings. So we get to Facebook. All right, again, like I said, it wasn't on my watch list. All right. But hold on a second. I left out a line here. All right, so right here, this is a channel where we sold off, we bounced a little bit, and we put in a channel here. Right in here. All right. So on this channel break, I got in. Guess what the hell I did? Look at what I did. It opened here, it bounced just a little bit, and I took it off. Okay, I didn't do this on purpose. This was me trading, and I realized at that point there's something wrong. There's something wrong. Why am I doing this? And I've been trading long enough to know I was able to pinpoint it really quickly when I started thinking about it. I'm scared to lose. It's not about the money. I'm scared to lose. I don't want to have another red week. I'm scared to lose. And so, once I figured out what the heck I was doing, it took me a minute to, really figure this stuff out. And here I did it again. I did it here and I did it here. And that's when I was like, this is not right. So I got in and I'm like, I'm putting in my stop and I'm going to let this thing go. And we're going to work this out. And so this was my first, I'm like, okay, let's get to this first target. And then let's trade from this channel. We're just going to trade from channels. And let's see if I can hold it through a bounce to this target. And that's what I did. And then we got back in and just started hitting. We almost came up with a grand slam here. Almost. So we got in, bounced here, got taken out, and then we went long. I was looking for the bounce, and this is when I went to sleep. I fell asleep here. When I woke up, we were running into the 50 when I woke up. Now, when I got in this trade, the 50 was far enough away for me to take some decent profit. Throughout this whole time, this thing came in and pretty much took up the whole profit margin. So I had to take profit here because this was a target. And you see what happened. Once we lost our technical levels, then that was that. Once we lost this channel, even though we were sitting on support, doesn't matter. Once you lose this channel, this was a technical level. Once we lost that, the trade was dead. I took it off, and you see it did pull back in. So I righted the ship later on in the day, which is good. That was exactly what I wanted to do. And ready. I'm going to work on it this weekend. I'm going to make sure that I'm not scared to trade. And I'm ready to come in and hit the ground running. But like I said, being the head of this chat room and being what everybody's looking up to, I've dealt with this before. Okay, all through the whole time that I've been in this room, I have dealt with the pressure of performance. And, sometimes it just creeps in. It creeps in different ways. Sometimes it sneaks in the back door, like it did. But I know how to deal with it. And hopefully you guys in the room, you're paying attention. These are the skills that's going to get you to that next level. So today, not very good, 302.54. But I'm telling you, I am missing TD Ameritrade about now. I made a decision early this week. Oh, I hadn't done a video, so you don't know. I made a decision to leave TD Ameritrade alone until they got their shit together. This whatever server they've got, I don't know what the hell's wrong with them. It's not DOS, because I use DOS with Speed Trader. IB, no problems. It's TD Ameritrade. They got some issues. So I'm not going to go back in TD Ameritrade until the beginning of the second quarter. So I'm going to give them like this month and a half to get their stuff together. Whatever they need to fix, get it fixed. And then I'll get back with them. But I think another thing that TD, one of the bad things that came out was I started taking too many little trades. This didn't really mean anything to me. It doesn't cost anything. So I could go in and out, in and out, in and out, and it wouldn't cost me anything. Here, I took 22 tickets, whereas with TD Ameritrade, I might have paid 10 or 15 bucks. This is $100. This is just over $100 in fees and commissions on 22 tickets. And I don't normally trade that many tickets. I never have, because like I started with SureTrader and I wanted to make sure that I didn't trade like a fool. I didn't have all of these tickets. And that's just been the way I've traded all this time. And so, this really doesn't matter until you start running up that ticket count. And that's when you start to see a difference. Where 406.50 was where I was at, 302.54. After I take out the fees and commissions, that's where I'm at. Which is fine. As long as I'm making money, I'm okay. But if I was that person just trying to learn, and I didn't have that good trade today on Facebook, I might have made money here, but I probably would have lost money because of how many tickets I had. So that's something that you really have to be careful with, if you're paying commission. And I only pay a couple of dollars a trade. All right, so I don't pay that much for commissions. But, it does add up when you start running all these tickets up. All right, guys, so that's going to do it for me today. Oh, no, I forgot. Here's where we are. These 2 weeks were really, really rough. This week would have been about the same. But Wednesday, you guys that were in chat waiting for the class, you got to see I took that TLRY earnings trade. I was down probably $500-600 on Wednesday, maybe more than that. I don't know, but had a really good earnings trade that brought us green. I mean, TLRY, I just happened to look at it and it looked really, really good, and just happened to take it. But if you were in chat waiting for the class, you did get to see that. But if it wasn't for that trade, look at this, $173. And granted, I was sick Tuesday. I was sick Wednesday. I was kind of sick yesterday. Slept most of the day. Today started out about $500 in the hole, if I add it correctly, and ended up $300 to the good. So not a bad. It was a struggle this week, but I'll take it. It's something that I can build off of, and I look to have a strong week next week. We have full 5 days, and I need to stay focused and do what I do. So the equity curve, you can see this is the red week that I had the third week in January, and then really recovered that last week. But here, we're going in the right direction, but it really slowed down. And I think it just crept in my head. But I think we're heading in the right direction again. Ready to get back at it. So rest, relax this weekend. Come back ready for Loaded for Bear. So you guys have a great night, great weekend. Stay safe, and I will catch you either Sunday morning if you guys come in for the session, the swing session, or Monday